To start off this look, I'm starting off with this eyeshadow pencil and creating my first line, which follows the upward slope of my lower lash line, making it about the thickness of the actual pencil. And then I'm working my way towards the inner corner, following the arch of my crease. So just drawing that a little bit above the natural crease, slowly making my way, following that curve, and just having an even concentration of that line, just feathering it inwards, tracing it back over. Next, I'm going in with this little pencil brush and using little circular motions and swiping motions on the edges to create a blend. I'm going to use this color as a base for our next red shade to add an undertone to the shade to change the color a little bit. This is going to look a little messy, so I'm just roughly blending out the edges using a little circular motions. You can go back in and apply a little bit more pencil if you blend it out too much, so I'm doing that here, just adding a little bit more of that color to make it darker, and then blending out the edges some more. You just want to have an even application of this color for our next shade to stick to. Be sure to maintain that sideways V shape in the outer corner. Next, with this red color and that same pencil brush, I'm applying that on top of our previous color, making the line about the thickness of the brush, just following that same line that we did with the previous color, maintaining that sideways V shape in the outer corner. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and blend out the edges using little circular motions, blending upwards, just covering that previous shade completely. This just adds like a different undertone to the red color. Starting back in on the inner corner using little circular motions. It does take a little bit of time to blend the colors out. Just making my way towards the brow bone, trying to maintain that curve above the brow. Just maintaining that curve above the crease and then carrying that V shape in the outer corner. Once you have a really nice blend of the red, I'm going in with this brown and applying it to the outer corner and then blending into the red and dragging it towards the center of the eye, keeping it in the crease and outer portion of the lid. Again, maintaining that sideways V shape so you can see it's kind of like a triangle application in the outer corner. Just making the edges seamless, feathering out the edges. You want a little bit of that red to peek behind the brown. Just going over, packing on a little bit more color. Next, I'm taking this pinkish shade and then feathering out the edges on that red up top using this blending brush. Using little circular motions, I did go back in and apply a little bit more red. Bring back a little bit more red color where it was covered with the pink. Just creating a nice transition. Using little circular motions. Next, I'm taking that pink shade again and applying it to the lower lash line, feathering it downwards and upwards. I'm kind of connecting it to that V shape in the outer corner. I'm not bringing it all the way in, I'm probably bringing it about where my eyelash hairs start growing on the bottom, adding a little bit more brown. Next, I'm using this pink shade on the lid, just feathering it on, packing the color, and then I'm going to go and blend out the edges, so just concentrating the color where I'd like it, filling any blank spaces on the lid. I'm just connecting it with the brown, and then feathering it into the brown. You can go back in with the previous brushes to blend out the edges if needed, but I'm just applying this all over, blending out the edges, adding more color as needed. So I'm just going back in with a little bit more of that red and brown, bringing it through the crease. Next, I'm taking this nude shade and applying it to the brow bone. I'm just gently feathering it downwards, first applying the color where I'd like it, and then dragging it down into that pink shade and bringing it towards the front of the brow. This sort of cleans up that blend up top, and then dragging it towards the end of the brow, using little feathering motions, being very light-handed with this. Once you have a nice blend of this nude shade on the brow bone, I'm going to do the same thing to the inner corner. So next I'm packing some of the color onto the inner corner and just feathering out the edges. I'm just softly buffing it into those pink shades on the front of the lid and then dragging it downwards and on that inner portion towards the nose, just using a light hand. Next I'm going back in with that fluffy brush in that light pink shade and just using little circular motions to make that blend a little bit more seamless with that brow bone color. I'm adding this nude liner to my waterline. Next I'm using a brown, applying an inner corner wing and then tracing my upper lash line with this, keeping the line thinner towards the inner corner and a little bit thicker towards the outer corner. Being a little bit messy with this because I'm going to go over it with this brown eyeshadow and this flat brush, just feathering on that shade using little side to side motions to pack the color on and blend out that top edge, and then connecting it with the lash line on the bottom, applying mascara to my upper and lower lashes as well as false lashes, and that completes the look. Be sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell to be notified of the next time I post. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you for watching.